I like having a nice big monitor like this for my main screen. It's nice to be able to view all these different faders with a nice wide screen. Using the command and the plus and minus on the keypad, you can totally zoom way in or way out. I usually put it about 130, 140%. That seems like a pretty good place for me. The faders are nice and long, and I can still see all of my effects slots and sends right there. You can also put it over into a mode called narrow mode. Use narrow view in the sequence menu, and that will show you even more faders. So if you've got a really large orchestral library, that might be something you want to do. You can't read the information as well, though, the track names, so I don't use it too much. But it's there if you need to, if you've got a really big session. And using the bottom, you can just scroll back and forth across your session here. If you're using Digital Performer and you like this template and would like to have a copy of it, it's a small file that I can send to you absolutely free, and you can use it on your Digital Performer sessions. It's taken me months and even years to perfect this template, and I'll be happy to save you a whole bunch of time and send it to you just as it is. It won't work on anything but Digital Performer, but if you are a Digital Performer user, give me a shout and I'll send it to you. Probably via email is the best way for me to do that. I have these extra pairs of speakers over here, separate from the main studio speakers. They're just a nice little pair of PreSonus Eris, I believe is the name of the speaker, mounted on these nice little ISO acoustic racks. They're not expensive. I believe these came in at about $100 for the pair. For the money, they sound great, and you can pump them up. I like them because they're consistent, and I've got another pair upstairs that I use. I'll even check mastering work on these instead of pumping up the volume on the big speakers. If you're not using speakers and you're just getting started and you're doing everything in a pair of headphones, first of all, get a better pair of headphones, and then get yourself a pair of speakers. Even these are going to be better than just doing all your work in headphones. You need to switch back and forth to get those mixes just the way you like. So I'd highly recommend these as an entry-level pair of studio monitors. And one of the things I did pick up was a good pair of mixing and mastering headphones. I used to use just some basic Sony Professionals. I use those a lot in video, and I've had these for a long time. They sound great. They're very comfortable to wear, but they don't really have the bottom end that I want. For mastering, I found them to be a little bit insufficient, a little, not tinny, but a little bit bright and not so much bottom end. So I was always sort of guessing around the bottom end, what was happening there. And I do like mixing with headphones, checking my mixes in headphones, and sometimes doing a lot of work with the headphones on. They're very comfortable. This is a pair from Beyer called the DT900 Pro X. Very comfortable, well made, real solid. They've got a nice long detachable cable. You can replace the cable if you need with a longer cable. I've got a nice long, I think this is a 9-foot cable. You can replace the ear cups if you want. If you get them worn out, you can replace those. They're really comfortable, kind of this faux velvet, really nicely padded, very comfortable to wear. They don't clamp down on your head too hard, and they sound great. I mean, they're more than sufficient for mixing and mastering, and they're very comfortable for long periods of time. So sometimes if I'm making adjustments, I'll not even turn on the big speakers, not even turn on the mains, and just mix with these, especially when you've got all that stuff adjusted already using your big speakers. When you know the bottom end is happening, you can just not even turn those on and do most of your work with just your headphones. They're also nice because they'll plug into a laptop. If I'm doing some work on the fly, on the go, I can take them in my suitcase or in my carry-on and mix and master on my laptop anywhere I go. Not the most expensive pair that Beyer makes. After looking and researching a whole bunch of different brands and makes, these are the ones I came up with. There's more expensive headphones, and there's some really expensive headphones if you really want to get into it. But I didn't want to break the bank on that, and I'm very, very happy with these. Beyer.